Ooh, welcome to the Altis Gremlin Spooky Season Spicy Special. This is a story about my primary school. And to begin with, the place was cursed, right? It was this really old farm on top of a hill. And in fact, it was so far removed from town that whenever it rained, some trees would just fall in the path and we would get stuck for hours. However, the school was gigantic, so it's not like you had nothing to do there. And of course, because it was like an old farm, it had a ton of spooky stories. But the one I'm gonna tell you today is The Attic Boy. I don't even know, the story is just a boy that died inside the attic, hundreds of years ago. And every Halloween, we had a special in our school that kids would sleep there, and during the night, all the teachers would dress up as monsters. They would shut every light in the school except the old house, the main building, and we would go through this huge adventure in groups between 3 and 5 people. The main objective was finding all the clues to finish a puzzle. However, this time, me and the boys went to the opposite side. We waited for everyone to run wild in the forest around the old school. And when everything was clear, we got back to the main building and tried to sneak into the attic. We got in, but before going up the stairs to the attic, we saw a dark corridor with a faint light in the back. And as good 10-year-old boys, we were so stoked to go there. And thankfully, one of the requirements to play the games was having a flashlight. So we got in quietly, and as we were almost reaching the door, a teacher came from the inside, and we were okay, it's over, we weren't supposed to be here, they're gonna kick us out. However, she was paying attention to something else. She looked kind of stressed, I don't know, it was very weird. So we got in, and one of our friends was in there. It was a very small room, and that friend of ours had some problems, he couldn't walk. And then he said to us, "Oh, I was about to take a bath, and there was this creepy bloodied hand inside the bathtub." And first of all, we didn't even know there was a bathtub inside the school. But man, that was a wild thing to say. And again, we got super hyped and ran into the bathroom. And I shit you not, there was actually a handprint out of blood inside the bathtub. And the three of us went ballistic. I really tried to look better at what was that, but my friends were so afraid they ran. We almost gave up going up the stairs. But my curiosity was peak at that moment. So I convinced them to go up, and we found the headmaster. However, that wasn't the bad thing. She was super cool, super chill. And we asked her, "Can we please go to the attic?" And she said yes. And I told her about the hand inside the bathtub. She was just yeah, whatever. Because at the time, every teacher's job was to play a prank in someone. However, we knew there was no prank because that part of the school was out of boundaries. We got to the attic, and the door was extremely short. Even for us, at the time, I don't know, 9, 10-year-olds, we had to kneel to open the door. And the moment we opened the door, a black thing, I don't know what it was, it ran out. And the headmaster got worried. Of course, it was a thing, we don't know what it was. And then she said, "Please, wait here. I'm going to get one of the teachers that he was really good with animals." Because a small part of the farm was still active. And sometimes cows and other farm animals would just find a way into the school, and that teacher was the one who could get the animals back. But of course, you can't just leave 3 kids and say stay there. Of course, we crawled into the attic right away, but it was empty, completely empty. We were there for maybe 5 minutes because there was nothing. It was really small and we used our flashlights on every corner. There was absolutely nothing except a really small shiny thing on the floor that was completely taken by dust and rust. So we took it out, and when we removed all the layers of dust, there was like a medallion with some kind of heraldry in the back, some stuff written on top that we couldn't read because the dust created like a block that we couldn't remove just by scraping. And in the bottom, date 1713. And I believe that to this day, it was probably the oldest thing I've ever handled in my life. And the headmaster came back. I made the huge mistake of giving it to her. Because after that, I've never seen it again. And nobody believed we saw any of those things. And now for my favorite part, the thinking part. First of all, the thingy we found in the back of the attic was probably real. And the black thing we saw running from the attic was probably a badger. At the time, we were so crazy and we just wanted to see something, right? We just wanted to see like the boy in the attic or some shit. That I believe our minds played a trick on us, and we saw, instead of a poor badger running, a black thing. No, just a black blob. And for the bloodied hand, I believe it was my friend, the guy in the wheelchair. He actually died the next year, so that's why the teacher, when she came out of the room, was so distressed. And I believe he had like some really big problem before going in. And when he saw us, he was just trying to cover up, from the thing he had. But I don't want to end it in a sad note. All this stuff in the story happened like almost 20 years ago. So is the attic boy real? Who knows? I don't know. Before leaving, every song except the ending theme is mine. If you can rip them, you can have them. Every drawing is mine too, and the images are from free galleries on Google. Also, the children in pictures are all of me, so don't worry, everything here is fine.